In 1861, America faced its greatest crisis, not from foreign invaders, but from within. The first civil war in U.S. history would pit brother against brother, neighbor against neighbor. It would decide the very meaning of the United States and the freedom it promised. By the mid-1800s, America was already two nations in spirit. In the North, factories, railroads, wage labor, and a growing abolitionist movement. In the South, sprawling plantations producing cotton, tobacco, and rice, built on the forced labor of millions of enslaved African Americans. For decades, political compromises kept the fragile balance, the Missouri Compromise, the Compromise of 1850, but each one only postponed the inevitable. Then came 1854, the Kansas-Nebraska Act. It allowed settlers in new territories to decide if they'd allow slavery. The result? Bleeding Kansas, armed clashes, burning towns, and a miniature civil war before the real one began. Then came the election of 1860. Abraham Lincoln, a Republican who opposed the expansion of slavery, won without carrying a single Southern state. To the South, this was a sign. Their way of life was under threat. Within weeks, 7 states seceded from the Union, forming the Confederate States of America, with Jefferson Davis as their president. More states would join them after war began. On April 12, 1861, Confederate artillery opened fire on Fort Sumter in South Carolina. For 34 hours, shells rained down until the Union garrison surrendered. The first shots of America's deadliest war had been fired. The Union expected a quick victory until Bull Run. Crowds from Washington came to watch, thinking it would be a spectacle. Instead, they witnessed chaos. The Confederate victory shattered any illusions of a short war. In September 1862 came Antietam, the bloodiest single day in American history. Over 22,000 soldiers were killed, wounded, or missing in just 12 hours. It was a tactical draw, but it gave Lincoln the chance to issue the Emancipation Proclamation, reframing the war as a fight to end slavery, and keeping Britain and France from recognizing the Confederacy. By mid-1863, the tide began to turn. At Gettysburg, Union forces repelled Lee's invasion of the North in a 3-day battle that left over 50,000 casualties. Meanwhile, at Vicksburg, General Ulysses S. Grant captured the Mississippi River, splitting the Confederacy in two. In 1864, Union General William Tecumseh Sherman marched across Georgia, destroying railroads, factories, and farms. This march to the sea was designed to break the South spirit, and it worked. On April 9, 1865, at Appomattox Courthouse, Robert E. Lee surrendered to Grant. It was not the last Confederate surrender, but it marked the symbolic end of the Civil War. The war claimed an estimated 620,000 to 760,000 lives, soldiers and civilians. It ended slavery with the 13th Amendment, but the struggle for equality was far from over. Reconstruction attempted to rebuild the South and secure rights for freed African Americans. The 14th and 15th Amendments promised citizenship and voting rights, but segregation, violence, and discrimination would last for generations. The first Civil War in the United States was fought over the soul of the nation. Its lessons are still with us. Unity comes at a cost, and freedom, once earned, must be defended.